My name is Jesca Eriyo. I'm the Minister of State for Environment from Uganda, and I've been attending this conference of the parties to the Montreal Protocol and the Vienna Convention. My country, Uganda, that I represent here, expects a lot of commitments from all parties and from the whole world to ensure that we phase out the use of particularly HCFCs and methyl bromide, and also to be able to get solutions or alternatives to HCFCs which contribute to climate change. My country has been able to phase out methyl bromide completely, and no more importation of methyl bromide in the country. My country has also put a ban on the use and importation of old fridges and air conditioners that contain CFCs. And so the progress is quite good for my country. So I do hope that every other country also follows the same example. And I would wish that from this conference here, if we could have commitments to phase out HCFCs earlier than expected, that is 2030, if we could bring it forward maybe to 2015, 2020, so that we can have, more contribution towards towards the solutions to climate change, which is affecting the whole world. Uganda as a country has faced a lot of disasters as a result of climate change. We've seen a lot of droughts and therefore failure of food crops and hunger, and my government had to look for money to buy food to feed those whose crops have failed. We've also had serious floods that have destroyed property, destroyed lives, caused landslides, and all these have also contributed to loss of biodiversity, the failure or destruction of infrastructure like roads and bridges. And our tourism sector is also affected as a result of climate change. So if we could put hands together and ensure that we don't go to alternatives that also cause more problems as far as global warming is concerned.
What kind of assistance you require from the international organization like UNEP, who is engaged in protecting the ozone layer and climate benefits?
Well, I would like to first of all register our sincere thanks as Uganda to UNEP, to the Multilateral Fund, to UNIDO, and to GTZ Proclima, who have supported us financially but also in technical capacity to ensure that we phase out the CFCs and methyl bromide. We still have a problem of capacity and financial abilities. We as a developing country, we don't have any manufacturing industries. So we still rely on importation of alternatives to CFCs and also alternatives to HCFCs. So my country will continue to request for capacity building, for financial and technical support in these areas. We would like to continue maintaining what we have. In the last June, my government also put a total ban on importation of old fridges and old air conditioners. These are what my people can afford because of the poverty levels. They cannot afford what is expensive. So another appeal that I would give out there to not only the United Nations organizations, but also to the private sector out there, is to ensure that they produce alternatives which are cheaper and affordable by poor countries like mine. Because if our people cannot afford the good technologies, then they will always smuggle in what is cheaper, and therefore it becomes very difficult for us to phase it out. So really the appeal is to ensure that the alternatives are cheap, affordable, and accessible. Because sometimes these technologies are too far away from us. They may be cheap from the source, but by the time they reach us, they are really too expensive and complicated for us.